Well, Leland, you recently got a Golden Globe nomination and made the Academy shortlist for your song from Boy Erased. The song is called Revelation. Take us back to the very beginning and tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this project and writing this song.
Sure. So I have Troy to thank, honestly, for being a part of the song and for bringing me in on this project. Troy was sent the script, and he very much wanted to be a part of the film as an actor, and so he auditioned for the film, got the part, and then from that point on, he and I strategized on how to infuse this film with some of our music, whether it's new songs or songs we'd already written in the past, and so thankfully Revelation was a new song that we wrote for the film with Jonesy from Sigur Rós.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about where the idea for the song came from. The movie, for people who don't know, it's based on this memoir, and it's all about a young teenage boy who is sent to conversion therapy camp by his minister father. So tell us just a bit about, I guess, where the roots of the song and how that developed.
Sure. I mean, as three gay men coming from different parts of the world and having different experiences growing up, we each identified with this movie and with this song in different ways. And for me, I have close ties to the plot line of the film. I felt like lyrically I was able to contribute something from someone who has lived in this environment, from someone who has grown up in this atmosphere. I'm from South Mississippi, and so the lyric honestly poured out of us. We watched the movie, we watched the specific scene where we were writing the song for. It's a very powerful scene where Jared, the lead character played by Lucas Hedges, experiences his first consensual experience with another man and realizes that God isn't going to strike him down. And so we wanted to, in a very respectful and powerful and emotional way, without taking away from the scene, only contributing to it, write something that helped just elevate that moment. And so lyrically, of course we were going to go religious, but we wanted to find the balance of a religious themed lyric, but also conversational.
Mm-hmm. The fact that this was based on somebody's actual experiences, Gerard Connolly is the author of the memoir. Did that put any added pressure on you to try to, get the song right? The fact that, this is going to be based on somebody's own experiences.
Of course. I mean, the scarier part about it was that this didn't happen that long ago. So this wasn't something where, oh, this movie is based on an experience he had growing up in the 80s. It's just simply not the case. So yes, there is the pressure because he's thankfully was so involved in the film and is such a spokesperson for the film, and is a success story of coming out on the other side and healthy and happy. And so yes, there was added pressure, but what I come from the world of pop music, and recently I started working in film and TV, and there are many cooks in the kitchen on a project, and that's okay. And so there is added pressure to please every single person behind the scenes. Thankfully, with Revelation, that happened very quickly.
Yeah, and unfortunately as well, I mean, even though it's based on one man's experiences, it's several people, men and women, have had to go through a similar experience to this. Have you heard from people who have seen the film or heard the song and, have, it's touched them in a way because of their own experiences?
I have, people who have gone through conversion therapy. I thankfully waited to come out till I was in college. Otherwise, I most likely would have had my own conversion therapy story. However, it's really tough for people to talk about. When people reach out or when I would go take people to see the film, I took about 30 friends in Nashville to see the film, and all they say is, I went through this. Thank you. I never try to pry. It's such a traumatic experience, and each person's is so unique, and it brings back a lot of things. It's a very triggering movie for someone who's gone through that. I think the people that need to see the film are actually the parents. That's really who, in my opinion, who this movie was made for.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk a bit more about writing the song and just about the collaborative nature of working with Troye Sivan and your other co-writer, John Thor Biggison. Hope I
Yeah,
said that name correctly.
I think so. So Troy and I have been writing songs together for going on 4 years. We were introduced through a friend before Troy signed to Capitol Records, and we began writing songs together. And we wrote his first album, Blue Neighborhood. We wrote his second album, Bloom, and he's written on projects that I've worked on. I scored a film that came out earlier this year and brought Troy in to contribute to that. So we just have a really great organic friendship and working relationship. And Troy was incredibly sweet to give me a call one morning, and he said, "What are you doing today?" And anytime he says, "What are you doing today?" I know to say nothing. And whatever I have going on, I cancel it. And so he called me one morning and said, "What are you doing today?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing." And we had already written 7 or 8 songs for Boy Erased that weren't right. And so he said, "All right, well, they really want us to work with Jonesy for the song, to try to get the theme song and the song in the film. And do you want to do that today?" And I said, "Tell me where to go and when, and I will be there." And so Jonesy had the music started, and Troy and I sat down on his couch in his living room and worked on these lyrics and massaged it till it was right. But this wasn't because of time constraints too, this wasn't something where we could go and revise. The lyrics, the way the song is structured, there's a lot of not repetition, but just slight changes in words that change the entire meaning of each paragraph and each lyric. So we wanted to be very delicate about that. And we recorded it that afternoon, made a few changes. I think maybe we fixed it the next day or the day after. And that was that.
Right. I should mention, that movie you scored this year was Sierra Burgess is a Loser. Is that something that you would like to do more of, composing for films?
Absolutely. I scored it with a man named Bram Inscore, and he produced a lot of Troy's last 2 albums. And we had the opportunity to score that film and had so much fun. The whole team at Black Label and Netflix was amazing. So I very much hope to be scoring some more projects.
Getting the Golden Globe nomination, can you just talk a bit about what that recognition meant for you and for everybody involved with writing the song?
Yes. I feel like it's meant to be, regardless of whether or not we win. It truly is not even on my radar. What matters more to me, because this song is incredibly personal to me, just as one of the songwriters, not even as the artist. But the song is so important to me. I'm grateful that it is continuing to have a platform and continuing to gain exposure, and more people are listening to it. It feels very meaningful that a Golden Globe nomination is happening with this song.
I do want to ask you one more awards-based question, because you made the Academy shortlist for this, which is the first time they've ever done that. So congratulations on making the 15. It's such an eclectic group of musicians that you're joining on that shortlist, and that you could potentially be joining as a nominee. I mean, you've got everybody from Dolly Parton and Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman to Lady Gaga, Mark Ronson, and Kendrick Lamar. So, I mean, what does that mean to, be a part of this, eclectic group of musicians, newcomers and people who've been around for a lot longer, and, to be in those ranks?
I mean, these are the people that truly inspired me to write music. Dolly Parton is hands down my favorite songwriter of all time, besides people like Rufus Wainwright, who also have had great film moments over the years. I think it's incredibly serendipitous and strange that 2 years ago I went to dinner with Mark Shaman to celebrate him getting Mary Poppins, and I was so happy for him, and he has always been such a positive person in my limited experiences with him, and so yeah, I was a part of the little group of friends that went to dinner to celebrate. I'm sure one of the many dinner celebrations that he did for that film, but to then 2 years later, be sitting on the same panel with him and Diane Warren and Drew Pearson, and it is extremely surreal. It almost feels like how did this happen? But then I look back on the 7 years of songwriting that I've been doing here in LA alone, and Nashville before that, and my story, and it's incredible to be among those people, and Annie Lennox as well. You know, the team for all the nominees for the Golden Globes. I just am really looking forward to being in that environment with and being inspired and having the opportunity to talk to them as a peer.
Yeah. If you guys get nominated, would you like to perform the song on the Oscar telecast?
Absolutely. That is, you know, he performed the song on Ellen. He performed the song on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And those moments right there, to have a nationwide audience, and a lot of times bigger than that, for people to experience this song, that's incredible. I would love for the world to be able to hear the song on the Oscar stage. Something that I've said is this movie, there are quite a few countries or quite a few households where this film is not going to be allowed to be shown. Mm-hmm. So this song can reach into those countries, those homes where parents might not want their kids seeing this film. And so for that, I think it's really important.
Well, Leland, thank you so much. Congratulations on the film and on your Golden Globe nomination and making the Academy shortlist. I see you have a Christmas tree in the background, so I hope you have a happy holidays.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.